Hello and welcome to this channel. I am Dr. Anshu coming back with the Hindu editorial analysis. How are you? Hope you are doing fine. I know I am coming after a week, and in this editorial I will cover from 25 June to 30, at least almost about a week current affair. I know I have said that I will upload at the alternate basis, but due to lack of time and not availability of newspaper, I am just not able to upload on the alternate basis also. So but don't worry, I have covered every important current affairs from last 25 June to 30 June, and it's a continuous series. If you're also covering on the weekly basis, then it's also good. You don't have left so much, so just you can update through the series. And I have already uploaded from January, and also the prelims are ahead, many state PCS are also aheading, so you can go through this newspaper. If you are already connected to my channel, you know that I am already uploading from January, and till it's been the more than 6 months is going to be and further in July series I don't know I'm able to upload or not, but I will try to upload it, because your comment responses also give me motivations to start it, that I am doing a good thing, I am initiating this, and as I have said, I will upload the shorts also. So I have already uploaded shorts on the science current affair, so you can watch there. But I have also think that I will also upload more, so you can visit there. From there I will also use the voiceover, because some informations are not reached everyone. It was not creating a so much engaging audience, so that I will also upload the next shorts in a voice over also. So in this editorial we will cover the 30 June to 25, from 25 to 30 June. So we will cover every important aspects. I have and these slides almost I have I am, it's already been 11, and I am making these slides from last 45 minutes. So it in any work you have to you have to be take patience, and everything takes time. Not everything is easy, that I am just making the PPT, finding, searching the page in newspapers, and then collecting for, and then adding the making the presentation. I am doing everything alone, so it will take time. So sometime I'm not able to manage, and YouTube, and you can say that YouTube and studies not manage alone. So for some time I'm taking a break from and after that I will continue this. Maybe I will upload from July if I got the time, but surely I will try to upload it. So let's going to, without wasting the time, let's have a recap what we are going to cover. So the front page is covering about the census. States asked to log the changes in boundaries before December 31. Maharashtra scraps new 3-language policy. Second page will cover about the monsoons finally arrives in Delhi. IMD issues a yellow alert. Water body or low-lying hand disputes that lies at the heart of depleting wetlands. Third is about the tragedy that happened in the 3 deaths, over 50 injured in morning during the Jagannath Rath Yatra in Puri. Fourth, we covered that about the sterilization of emergency, and about the Boeing faces headwind crashes and competition. Fifth is about how did the Axiom 4 need 28 hours to reach ISS. Sixth, we cover about how will the new US visa affect the online privacy and security. Seventh page will cover about the at ISS Shukla takes up experiment on skeletal muscle degradation in space, and 2 killed in after landslide hits the hotel in Uttarkashi. So that's covered in 30 June. For next we are moving to the 20. No, it's the 30s. People had won against emergency, says Modi government. People take a street in Kolkata intensity to protest over gang rape. Now next we'll cover to 29. Here the world is borderless. India is much larger than on the maps. The conversation that is during the video interaction of Anshu Shukla and Narendra Modi. Next about the Prada credits the Kolhapuri inspiration. Turmeric board headquarters be opened in Nizamabad today. 11th about the Mulla Periyar Dam shutter to be opened today. And new US draft law on foreign remittance duties spared a card transfer. Uh, Enabling the voting rights for migrants and issue birth certificate before discharge baby, RGI tells the state. 13th, India is trying to be US trade deal by July 8 deadline. 14th, we will cover about the trilateral nexus of India's new challenge. Next is covering about 28, where the Kolhapuri chappal manufacturers cry over the foul replica sandal. Pahalgam exclude India's decline to sign SCO state. Here we will about the state and sex voice liver disease. And GST councils set to discuss a fewer item in slab. In this we will cover 27. Here in history clip, Indian astronaut heads to ISS. Israel Iran ceasefire in effect, says Trump. 2 billion people don't have safe drinking water. And 25th cover about the railways consider a marginal increase in fare, and for first time India's break into top 100 in global SDG ranking. So these we are going to cover almost. I have covered every, maybe I forgot to put some dates like but I have covered from 25 to 30. So let's start with the front page. About that Maharashtra government scrapped the new 3-language policy. The panel formed to decide the future for primary classes will submit report in 3-month oppositions, and experts says a victory in Marathi. People expresses doubt in panels. So the Maharashtra scrapped the introduction of a 3-class language policy for class 1 to 5. And on Sunday, after the opposition, academics, activists in political party, Congress party ruling the coach, because it is said that in the initial primary ages, you have to learn your basic language, your mother tongue, so that the children grasp easily, and after that you will implement other things. So here the committee will look the 3-language policy from which grades should be implemented, will study the recommended of Malaskar committee, and the 2 government order introduced a policy for primary education issued the April 1670 has been cancelled, and government put the 3 languages for Mullah who hold at present. A committee has sought the 3-month senior government. So there is about policy will impact like nearly 80 lakh primary students in a state, Marathi and English schools, and that language formula is implementing a secondary classes. So if the children is went to from primary to secondary, then this language should be implemented. And in primary education, if they are not able to read and write in their own language, then it's very difficult to sustain the other languages. And already we know that ASR, that report tell about the children of that age like 5 to 6 is not able to read and write, they know their own languages. And adding one more, it will create more difficulty to children to grasp the things. Ahead of the census, state asked to lock the changes in boundaries before December 31. So around 24 lakh enumeration block the finalized for 21. Census are likely to be used for 27 count. So the RGI has informed the state and phases of population census, house list and housing schedule will tentatively take from April 1. So already know the census app is going to implemented in all various states, and this started from the April 1. Will tentatively begin on April 126. Preparation has been made. So this registrar, like the Registrar General India, comes after the 10th year of the census, and the last this is going to be 2011. After it's going to 21, but due to COVID and after that 6-month gap, and finally it's going to be held. So the census conducted by the 3 months after freezing the boundary limits administrative units. It's a housing operations begin from April 1. While the population count is set to begin from Feb 127. So any charges existing boundaries must be included by, and boundaries set by administrative unit. So the RJ has also informed the states that administrative boundaries will frozen by December, and any changes are made to limit the police station. Next is about the monsoon finally arrives in the IMD issues a yellow alert. So here the questions about the what is yellow alert. Yellow alert, so these are the weather warning color codes, like there is a green, yellow, orange, red, and it's yellow alert, it means to be aware, remain alert, and there's a moderate rainfall also, and update with the latest forecast. So there is a issued on a Sunday after casting rain every day until 25. So however, there is a progress was delayed due to anticyclonic circulations. The average onset duration in monsoon. So these are monsoon about AIQ. Air quality index is 85 at 9, and it's about the pollution control board between 0 and 50. Next is water body or low-lying land, a dispute that lies at the heart of Delhi depleting wetlands. So the long-running water between two government agencies, Delhi over a Tikri Khurd Lake, which is span of a 40 years, Narela symptomatic why wetlands or water bodies are depleting in national capital. So it's been 8 years like since the central formula wetland rules, and it is mandatory for all the states and union territories authorities for identifying the wetlands and being single wetland. So over 6 years, NGT National Green Tribunal Act directed the authorities to save a Tikri Khurd Lake and development in which the own lake continues to be denied that it is water body. We are a view of that wetland authority that must look into the matter. So it is preserved as a dated for. So similar stand is also taken for 2000 flayed as a anxiety showing back a lack of commitment. So this 60 on there is no act to protect the Team Khurd Lake despite NGT order wetland authority. Situation of Khurd Lake is not rare. It's a Delhi-based environment activist criticized the authority for not reviving the water bodies. So there is a concern should the regarding these wetlands, why these are depleting in Delhi land. Next is a tragic incident that happened during the Rath Yatra. 3 dead, over the 15 injured in the morning stampede during Rath Yatra. So already in these 6 months of 25, already there is a lot of stampede cases have happened, like in the Mahakumbh also, in the last that movie that released in Pushpa actor also, in during the RCB that RCB won the match, and after that the stampede also occurred there. Lot of people died there. So these stampede where the peoples accumulated more than their sufficient space and system is unable to manage. So these type of stampede created such a tragic incidents. This tragedy, many people killed, they lost their loved ones, and the purpose that is meant for another thing turned into these sad moments. They turn into sadness and griefs. So this incident took place at a Gunchida temple as a thousand of devotees tries to press closer the chariot for a glimpse of Lord Jagannath and his sibling Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra during the annual event. So this is arriving night for an event to avoid the massive daytime crowds and apologizing to devotees for the incident. Its Odisha Chief Ministers announced that 25 lakh would be paid, keen of each deceased. So these nobody can replace the, like, no money, no amount can replace anybody's life. That vacant void always remain in that person's life. And this the tragedy that is headed. He also ordered at a high level of administrative that is required to tragedy to be headed by state devotees. There is also transfer of police officers, IPS officer, district collectors. Is the chief. The government transferred the district collector Siddharth Siwan to superintendent police to the Puri district, while 2 senior police were officers placed under the suspensions. Relatives of victim and several devotees leaked as complete absence. So this is a glaring incompetence said by the scanthing attack against the government following the incident. What is said, and Odisha government also president demanded a time-bound judicial probe into incident. Next is that 8 Tamil Nadu officers held by Lankan's Navy. CM seeks central help. Sri Lankan Navy, the 8 fishermen Rameshwaran seized the Manishwara mechanized trawler on a charge of poaching in early hours of Sunday, and according to the information received Rameshwaram, the arrested fishermen were being taken to naval base at a Taiman in Sri Lanka. So these fishermen had put to sea to set to return to their catch on Sunday, and the fishermen were given SJS to 39 owners and driver and Anamali, V. Kamran, Syed Ibrahim, Munishwaram, U. Selvam. So these. Moving to the next is about The forced sterilization of emergency. Sorry, this stylus is not working. So India marks the 50th anniversary of emergency, and one of the most horrific and least acknowledged chapter of Indian democracy is state-sponsored forced sterilization practices, popularly known as Nasbandi, in public memory. So the sterilization campaign masquerading a population control, separately it's a Malthusian eugenic exercises of state violence, atrocity is almost a sheer skill brutality and brazen. So during the emergency and during the 1977, how the Indira Gandhi's son Sanjay Gandhi taken all the rules in their hands, and the forced sterilization led to many deaths also. So these are the past incidents that have been a forced sterilization practice globally. They were often justified by public health, eugenics, social discourses. Research documented that in US over 60,000 people, including the mentally ill, poor, black, Native Americans, and Latin women, were sterilized between 97, and this also incident happened all in many places. Like in 1979, under the state level eugenics laws, 63,000 people deemed to unfit for parenthood were sterilized. And this scandal eventually forced the government to apologize publicly and offer a compensation for survivors. Nazi Germany was notorious for the weaponizing modern biological science. 93, the law for a prevention of genetically diseased offspring mandated sterilization about 4 lakh people before and during the World War II. Also, the emergency abuses here. The anthropologist Ima Tarlo in her research in Delhi mentioned that people refer to emergency as Nasbandi ka waqt, sterilization time, and the very term emergency, apatkal, and the very term apatkal become synonymous with sterilization, a stigma in many people's life. And Shah Commission set up investigate about emergency abuses, record 1178 sterilization related data and 100 of injury. But it is more than it, as it is not mentioned here, because that time censorship is also banned. The newspapers recorded were only show that was narrated by the Indira Gandhi, the cabinet government. And it's about the family, and unofficially the leading researchers and demography Pal Pandekar, KG Jolly in their district level studies the family, pointing out the India performed around 1.3 million vasectomies in 1975 and 2.6 million in 1976. Within a year, a female combined jumped to approximately 8.3 billion. So in Patna, Bihar, where the Jayaprakash Narayan led the student movements, was the most intense. There was many Nasbandi exercises. No one was spared by tickets, passenger, daily wage labor, beggars, trial prisons, wandering monks, young peoples who appeared looked hippie were targeted. Possessing a sterilization certificate became a grim necessity for daily survival. And these sterilization certificates even to buy essential goods from ration shops. Villagers often fled homes, hid in a forest, clashed. So this type of conditions there. Patna, Gaya, Muzaffarpur, Saran. Government conducted a 450,000 sterilization in 1957-70. Quotas were imposed in block, official panchayat. So it became a compulsory mandatory thing for them. At resistance force sterilization grew, so did repression. Uttar Pradesh police opened fire on October 16 and it's a Kalapur in Muzaffarnagar, killing 25 people, mostly Muslims. The incident was known as Nasbandi Goli Kand, sterilization bullet massacre. After 700 people sterilized, 80 men were cutting power surrounding the areas, and it's a campaign revolt, actually Mumbai called on necropolitics. Next is that Boeing faces a headwind from crashes and competitions. So mounting troubles in Boeings. What are the troubles that creating here? The chart one shows here about October. It's a Exophian arrest. Maybe this is not visible. The chart one shows here about the official. Just let it be. It is not clearly. I will put another picture. Next, why did the Axiom need 28 hours to reach ISS? So if you crew capsule, so that time the Falcon 9, already you know that using the Falcon 9, I have uploaded the shorts regarding it. What are the criteria of Falcon 9s and how Axiom mission, Axiom 4 needs here. So here the detail we discuss about the capsule that is called the crew capsule, that is called Dragon capsule. Dragon capsule was traveling at several thousand kilometers per hour, and this Earth roughly 400 kilometers above the sea level. Just 1 minute. I was not turning on the fan because I thought voice is not clear, but this heat is not allowed me to sit like this, so I have to just switch on the fan. So here about the lift-off Axiom Space, which is orchestrating the mission, said Dragon 9 would dock with ISS in 28 hours, and it had to picture the ISS as two race cars separate the lenses rather than the car trying to drive up the sport's 400 km ahead. To share the ICC length, the capsule needed much both its altitude and its velocity vector, and this was achieved using a raw speed as well as timing. So 400 km would leave the Dragon virtually sideways speed, and this Falcon 9 rocket vaulted a Dragon into low, slightly lessening orbit of 200 km high. So it's high. So there is a speed around 27,000 km/h, which capsule is maintained just to avoid spiraling back toward the ground. So the ISS is also higher than the Sparky and around 400 km. Therefore, it circle of Earth little more slowly to avoid spiraling down, and the ISS take around 92 minutes to go around the Earth. So each of these burned with timed such as after completing severe orbit, Dragon ended up being exactly where it would be, and somewhat is merging into highways right exist, and then steering straight toward another car. So what is preparation were taken before docking? For Axiom 4 mission, the mission plan designed to pre-docking profile lasted about 28 hours. Or about 18 orbits covering here. So once the Dragon came within the 30 km or ISS, it moved itself into corridor aligning with the ISS. From there, the rules required it to capsule at no more than meters per second. Once it was reached to 120 ISS, the Dragon was to be a few centimeters per second. So it is designated mission, so it would be performed on the go poles at a lidar checks, and even if there is a wrong sensor reading in this process. So it was added the fact that Axiom and NASA use SpaceX Dragon crew, that is mission is also relevant. So it is checkouts to eat, sleep before starting the intense docking exercises. So why it is taking, so there is a detailed description about it. Let's go through it. Next is about how the new US visa rule affect the online privacy and security. So how does the student affect visa application? Like social media voting, US visa has been placed 2019. So new announcement signal the foreign students to face unprecedented level of surveillance when traveling to the US for study or work. And why US immigration officers checking the social media account for it's a Palestinian student protect anti-IC immigration and customs. So enforcement demonstration across USA cities officially want to make the Indian student coming into country and support such activities. So it is how long the social media accounts have to left open. User have to first carry the social media, clean up their accounts, remove any sensitive personal media. So no official guidance has been used to how long the accounts need to be left open. And deleting the social media accounts entirely may sound like they avoid the hassle. Some technical companies keep even deleted accounts for several weeks or months. So what is the risk of making social media account public? Firstly, it's a privacy, censorship and security risk around. About the foremost, many Indian students who apply for US visa are usually minors high school, and for them keeping their social media accounts set to private is more than just a personal preference. It is crucial for their safety online, and many youngers learning to navigate online spaces post highly personal content for photos, videos across private account, secure their knowledge that only people close to they can see their content. Now however, those hoping to go to US to study will have to make their account public or scrap personal content from their channel. A new requirement also make US visa applicants, especially children, most vulnerable to digital security crimes such as bullying, harassment, blackmail. So advertising kids is another potential threat to consider. And visa applicants set to their social media accounts to public. So it slammed the US government to new social media requirement, liking the country to approach the authoritarian. So it is difficult for a visa application can choose their ignore request through they can put the application at risk doing so. And also the fundamental principle of hygiene by asking those seeking student to exchange visa to set up their social media account to public for purpose of visa venting to expose by this. So also this is moreover the government social media surveillance includes the privacy and it's a chills freedom of speech too prone to error and misinterpretation without ever having a proven effective assessing security. Next is that at ISS, so at the International Space Agency has commended the research activities orbiting laboratory. So there the crew member are fully immersed in their missions and smoothly from the rivals protocol to research. So they spend the time in life sciences globe box working on a it's a myogenesis experiment. Like they spend time in the life science globe box LSG working their myogenes. It's myogenesis means muscles formation. Myo is muscles and genesis is synthesis formation. So the study aims to cover the biological ways behind the skeletal muscle degradation in space. So how the bone density, we already covered that the visit during the Sunita Williams when she came from the universe, and how her bone density decreases at this space. The bone density increases very fastly and the skeletal muscle degradations also takes place. Like muscles has classified as a cardiac, smooth and skeletal muscles. So here about the biological pathways behind skeletal muscle degradation in space, a major challenge for astronauts. Like there the bone density also decreases, skeletal muscles also degradation takes place. For by identifying the mechanism, researcher hopes to develop a target to join free WhatsApp channel therapies that could only protect the space travel but also suffering from muscle degenerative diseases on the earth. And so the microgravity and like the ISRO has shortlisted 7 microgravity experiments which Mr. Shukla would conducting during the 14-day stay at the ISS. Myogenesis has been proposed at a Bangalore-based Institute of Stem Cells and Regeneration, and also the ISRO has gained through the 7 experiments expected to microgravities like a search in ecosystem and also the induction of advanced microgravity. The ISRO NASA will also participate in 5 joint sciences investigation. So Axiom said like limited cerebral it's a hemodynamic study. Completing the first session, installing the necessary software and using the ultrasound technology. So 2 killed after the landslide hit the hotel site in Uttarakashi. 7 people are missing after the disaster triggered by the cloud burst, and the NDRF, SDRF people carrying out search operations in war footing, said district magistrate. Char Dham Yatra suspended for a day. So there is workers which been killed and 7 were went missing, triggered by the cloud burst their campsite at Yamunotri National Highway in Uttarakashi of Uttarakhand. So the NDRF also jointly carrying the research and rescue operations, and bodies of the laborers were discovered from the bank of the Yamuna river near the Tilandi. It's a Tiladi Samrit Smarth, about 18 km, and there were 29 laborers at the campsite when landslide occurred when away around 10-meter highway. So just the highway blocked there, and as a pilgrim returning from Yamunotri to have asked to safe locations to block the highway. Next we will cover about that people had won against emergency, says Modi. Those who imposed the measure had to be enslave the judiciary, and people the incident that happened in the Kolkata, our law student, they are protesting there. The street in Kolkata add intensity to protest over gang rape. The gang rape at Law College at Kolkata, and there are 25 that take place in 25 June at a Kasha police station where FIR has been registered. And their supporter is Abhagya Marcha group created after the rape and murder attendee of RG Khan Medical College on August 9, 24. Even after the incident happened, again another incident happened. So what, like, the survivor in her complaint said that she was sexually assaulted by one person and other 2 outside. At least she's not feared from the things that happened there. Moving to the next is about, so we are like from forwarding we're moving to backwards. So these all are from starting from how the space we reach to the space, and after the experiences, the conversation during the video interaction with Narendra Modi Sumanshu Shukla added their points about how their experience, how they felt, and what are the plans ahead about the plans that India should have their own space station. We will work on the Gaganyaan mission soon, and also about that we their inspiration, their experiences help in our further upcoming programs launches. In the 14 days during that, they will discover about all the in the presence of microgravity. They will like add on the life sciences also, on about some basic was telling the experience that how their body is floating there, they're eating, sleeping, every pattern is different there, how they are adjusting, and that India is like more larger than shown in map. It is seems like borderless, that how it is projected on the maps. Like it's a no countries exist. Ultimately, we all are part of humanity. And also about told that astronaut that his space travel marked the beginning of a new era and the mission towards it. So these all are conversation. How he's carrying the that gajar ka halwa and moong dal ka halwa by his fellow astronauts on the space station. Moving to the next is about the Prada credits the Kolhapuri inspirations. So if we move forward, the news cover about the Kolhapuri chappal, that is GI tag from the Maharashtra. The work for the 7 more than it takes information. It takes at least more than a week. More than week, you can say 10 to 14 days. They are made by that is crafted by, it is a handicraft product that was using the leathers of animals. It is make they have their own GI tag, but they are the Prada. It's a brand that is it is an international brand that selling their this chappals, Kolhapuri chappals at lakhs in lakh, and not crediting to it, like it was considered as a stealing of this art. And finally, the Prada credits the Kolhapuri inspiration. So the traditional footwear being in the Indian handicraft footwear. So it's featuring the men's spring summer 2026 inspirations. Its collection after being slammed for GI tag Kolhapuri chappals. So representation of Maharashtra Chamber Commerce Industry communicated Prada said Prada was likely to send its team to explore any possibility to collaboration on the product in near future. And Kolhapuri chappal makers have also welcomed the Prada acknowledgement, but have expressed the expectation that brands should do more with to help with their trade. I will cover the GI tags in another short video about a detail, and I will cover every GI tag brands that is in the current affairs since in 2024 to 25, and recent I will cover the 6 months of like GI tags. So soon I will upload it. So its cost is about 250 to 400 per pair, and they are selling at those goods sell on transport after they sell to 1500 to 200 in Pune. And this system is to be like its goods are to be exported and profits are shared. So Turmeric Board headquarters is opened in Nizamabad today. Already about the Turmeric Board prelims questions have been asked about. So the headquarters of National Turmeric is formally inaugurated in Nizamabad by Union Minister Amit Shah, and fulfilling the shape that the politics of the Nizamabad district and the Telangana, involving 2 prominent politicians, symbolizing a new era for farmer innovations, global competitiveness. Its era, and Mr. Shah was invited by Arvind Dharampuri, Nizamabad MP, National Turmeric Board chairperson Pale Ganga Reddy. The event took place political hue as a 2019 led to as a feat of Bharat Rashtra BRS candidate. It's Kavita in Nizamabad when her father K. Chandrasekhar Rao was the chief minister of Telangana. The country focused to turn up. Arvind Dharampuri was the first time contested to form the seat which BJP had never won. So his promise to establish a turmeric board reinforced the sign-bound paper he distributed to turmeric farmers, and significant impact on the campaign also. Moving to the next. So Mullaperiyar Dam shutter to be opened today, official. So dam level is 135.9 at 6 p.m. on Saturday. So it's 135.9 at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and district administration compiled. So Mullaperiyar Dam basically share with the two states. I don't know what is happening. So one is by Kerala that managed, and it's Tamil Nadu that share. So it is located in Kerala but operated and maintained by Tamil Nadu. So this is due to the 99-year base agreement signed in 86. The Maharaja of Travancore, Secretary of State, according to. So Tamil Nadu opens 13th spillway shutter at Mullaperiyar Dam. And district affected here is that 5 districts in Kerala is also impacted, like Idukki, Kottayam, Ernakulam, it's Apalju and Thrissur. So the stream flooding and Mullaperiyar Dam spill shutterway opened at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and 1000 cubic of water will be released from the dam. And district administration compiled a list of 3,220 individuals to relocation of relief camp. And here the Mullaperiyar Dam shutter, the opening a dam has now become a regular scene during the monsoon, and now people have accepted that they will not permanent solution for their issues, he say. And the shutter opens and unavoidable flooding has all become routine for us now. Next is that the new US draft law on foreign emittance diluted a tax rate spares card transfer. So the tax remittance, so now the remittance charges that is it will be reduced. So remittance, what is the person that is residing outside the India, they send the money in the India, and the charges, that basic transaction that is formed, so they have to give a remittance, like if from you were sending your money to in dollars to India, so US government charge some tariffs on that, so they will reducing it. So there is reduced the remittance to 1% from proposal of 3.5%. %, also exempt the remittance made from bank account and other financial institution, and also debt of credit. So 1% tax will now be applied on remittance in the cash money order cashier, and remittance also made a US bank account, those via credit and debit card exempted. Next is about enabling voting for migrants. So basically it's about the migrants that are, the writer opinions about the it's the persons who are not residing in their own state, and if there is election is conducted, so there should be a voting rights for migrants also. Like basically in Bihar, due to the lack of industries, lack of job opportunities, they fled to another states for their job opportunities, and if the elections held there, more than 45%, there is a very the presence of the voters are very less during the voting time. So writer opinions that Bihar is one of the largest out migration population in India, and the polls later this year, the proportion of state has population unable to exercise their franchise. So in 24 the elections voter turnout to Bihar is 56%. So it is basically only 56%. And significantly national average is 60%. So more than half of the household in Bihar expected migration is some of likely factor to have significantly influenced by low voter. Some people are studying outside, some people are working there. The number of significantly higher in certain northern and eastern such as Bihar, with ever increasing number of migrants travelling from poorer to richer areas, search of employment, number of ethnically defranchised only, however, increase unless mechanisms are put to place facilitate voting rights. In attempt to solve the issue, public discussions have been held. So different kinds of policies had been mechanized and needs to enable the voting different kinds of migrants, intrastate migrants, grounding it's 85% migrants, intrastates residing in another state. Working informal sector could be encouraged to travel relatively shorter distance to vote their original places of residence. However, there is a need to measure support from government also, like stricter enforcement of a statutory holiday on polling day would be also ensure the workers are to able to travel to vote without the loss of wages. So the interstate migration working in informal sectors are large, growing and vulnerable population need a different set of voting mechanism, and this is the first option is designed to cater to the large population migrants and low paying jobs such as construction sector. Workers in the job may have been permanent residents. Address proofs. In 23, the ECI has showcased the pilot project. It's a electron voting machines. Each of these EVM modified caters up to 72 constituencies also, and objective to this project. So the migrants are also residing in a project or appear to be administratively difficult to implement the scale, and ECI can make the necessary arrangements. Pooling, it's a polling day, and if ECI find a given city there is a migrants of all 243 constituencies, it rather to be set up at least 4 RVMs across the city. So it's a remote electronic voting machines, RVMs. So that if there is a setup, then they can vote there also, and there is another option is also post ballot, but this system is already being implemented to ECI for a member of armed forces and extension, like they are working the person that are working in defense also, they are using their vote writing through the postal ballot. So the migrant to register within the body well advanced in postal ballot can be issued. Operationally, this so prior you have to register there so that they can vote there. And last option is switching voting constituencies. So person, if there is if a person is residing there, so they can switch their constituencies for a longer term, more than permanent migrants who can prove their residence in constituency for at least 6 months. So these are the arguments here. The longer term migrants for area would likely to more concerned about the politics and policies of their current places residence. These are the first here it is designed to cover a large population migrants. So writer is giving all the suggestions here, beautifully presented. Use can be in the main writing. Also the elections are coming in the Bihar, so it can be came in the mains, BPSC mains option. Next is about the issue the birth certificate before the discharge of baby. So there is a registrar general has to ask the states to ensure that birth certificate are issued to the mothers of newborn children before they are discharged from hospital, because the 50 government run hospital which is account for a 50% institutional birth in the country. So it is not later than 7 days. Here the persons are make their birth certificate after a month, after a year, whenever they need they will make, and so that there is not a accurate birth rate, birth date is given there. If some persons reduce, some person increase, some person reduce from the for the 1-2 years of their birth rate from their original. So there's it's appreciate that the office it endeavors the making of registration process smooth, user friendly, has taken several steps to prove the civil registration system, including amendments to registration of birth and deaths, corresponding the birth and deaths of rule to development of new central CRS. Importance of birth certificate, and the certificate is delivered to the mother of newborn child before discharge of hospitals, and 50% total constituency birth by RGI. So it is community and health sector that come across a registration unit and restart such unit. So the government is there is a community health center and some process working there also, just should be sanitized to importance of immediate issue certification, so that utility has been recently increased manifolds. So also the documents to prove the date of birth, various services such as admissions to education, institutional, government, job, marriages, these are the convenience to common people, so that they will endure the goodwill. I know I told is little bit long, so just keep patience. I will just try to cover everything, and if you found it you can just go through it also. But as I started this address, so I have to discuss with every points. I can't skip. So India has tried to US trade deal by July 8 deadline. So US reciprocal tariff including 26% import from India will take effect from July 9. So prior to it, if there is a discussion and bilateral talks will be arranged so that there should be some the taxes reduced, because after the 3 months that 26% will be implemented from July 9. So export of GM crop cow to mill India. So US for at least 2 days conduct final negotiation for a mini trade deal for July 8 line deadline, and reciprocal tariff is imposed by US to come into force. So the top items agenda, the main hindrances to agreement is the entry of genetically modified GM crops, cow milk into the reciprocal cow milk into India, and removal of reciprocal tariff. So this US President Donald Trump on 26 hinted that very big deal is coming with India, and these are the 90-day pause of Trump on Liberation Day tariffs. So moving to the next is about the China. It's about a trilateral nexus is India new challenge. How it is creating a trilateral, like China, Pakistan, Bangladesh held their first trilateral meeting at China, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Meeting in a Kunming, China. It's Kunming, China. And exploring the possible deeper engagement. And now the meeting also closely follow another trilateral meeting between China, Pakistan, Afghanistan held in May with the aim of extending China-Pakistan economic corridor, increasing cooperation trilateral and little relevance to the region. India increasing relations with Afghanistan and New Delhi, deteriorating the ties with Bangladesh. The use of trilateral underscore China fresh attempts to making a new Pakistan as a stakeholder in the region of keeping its immediate concern. So a war that shaped alignment, like 1962 war between India and China shaped large alignment with the geopolitics. Like following the war, China has found Pakistan could be an ally that could keep India engaged with immediate threats, On the other hand, Pakistan deems China to be a country that would unquestionably offer economic and military assistance to support aggression against India. Like to date, Pakistan is highly dependent on China for assistance and investment, also infrastructure development. So the end of 24, Pakistan had a loan of $9 billion from China, and it is estimated over 80% Pakistan armies import from China. So China has also shielded Pakistan backed terrorists in United Nations, and this the camaraderie is largely visible. So there is a regrettable and urgent political solution investigation in a Pahalgam terror attack. Pakistan deploying the various Chinese handmade hardware weapons that raise the surveillance radar. It's a missiles guidance system, fighter jet. Even aftermath of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan Foreign Minister and his Chinese counterpart reaffirmed this iron-clad friendship. So these trilateral with Afghanistan and other countries likely to emerge from this meeting. What is the resurfacing of idea? Like idea of China and Pakistan using +1 India against it is not new phenomena. Even in the 1955, it's 1965, Pakistan flirted with idea using East Pakistan, China and Nepal to cut off India from its strategic Siliguri corridor. The idea of using South Asian corridor seems to be have refused both China, Pakistan, and also the isolated Pakistan India suspension of Indus Water Treaty, like diplomatic clout here damages the Pakistan operational capacities, confidence highlighting, and also at the same time India pragmatic engagement domestic politics reason has slowed once. So this increasing the anxiety is likely to have motivated China to push a trilateral Afghanistan and Bangladesh before their respective regime changes. Like the both countries are supporter of India's flight against both China and its state sponsor. So Pakistan and China have attempted to draw both countries close to their orbit, and they remain cautious in pragmatic engagement between India and Taliban. So China efforts and setback is like that China, not Pakistan, is India's biggest challenge. Both Pakistan and China confronting confident India, and also its part Delhi will be have to continue the express red lines, convey point, manufacture, economic, military, and political cost. Moving to next, already discussed about the Kolhapur chappal manufacture that our Prada replica sandal. Pahalgam excluded to be the declines the signed to SUS. So Shanghai, it's about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. There is no discussion of our the aftermath that happened during the Pahalgam attacks into. So there is a and there is a discussion about the the incident that happened in Pakistan, in their own country, the Balochistan. So they denied to sign the SEO meeting and pushed for including tougher language on terrorism and put the Indian position particularly in a Pahalgam attack 22. So these are the documents that it is not mentioned Pahalgam but included the militant activities of Balochistan. So it is trying to divert they are trying to divert the attention from terrorism, and Antu document would have discussed India position critical issues. So particularly terrorism and regional should be added there. Moving to the next, about the state and sex-wise liver diseases data hints underlying factor. So liver disease burden analysis shows here about the men's and women data, that how male is affecting more than females, and how the liver diseases is a share among all digestive issues among the men's and women between 2002 data here, but 2012 to 2022, and state wise the males and female liver diseases. So liver disease, basically the main factor are like the men's are more alcoholic, they they consume lot of that's led to the liver cirrhosis diseases. Also the second data is, you can say, about so these data shows that how the liver disease data hint underlying factors, that how the digestive issues also led to the burden on the liver, and this created to liver diseases. So chart 1 shows about the sex-wise certified deaths due to the disease of digestive system, that between the 2012 to 22. So there is a causes of death uses the term sex. The number of men dying digestive were highly more than 3 times more consecutively more than the women. In fact, the number of men die from the disease was 3.5 times that of women, and large proportion. Chart 2 shows that digestive diseases in 22, 79% men die of digestive diseases that had liver diseases, 57% women. Another cause make only small share include pancreatic disorder. Chart 3 shows that same information but only for death due to the liver diseases. So there's a there's a stark sex gap, you can see here. And about the chart 4 shows the age wise contribution of a digestive due to disease occur in 22. So among women, the burden of digestive disease death increased significantly with the age over 30%. And the liver complication should be a key factor for age group. Highest death among the 45 to 54 age group, then dominating the middle age group. Like in chart 5 shows the death causes by digestive diseases due to the it's all medically certified death within each state. So just the chart 3 4 shows worth navigating. Next is about the GST Council have a fewer items since 12% slab. So about the July 24 there is a final slab of tax treatment of services and provider sectors as one part. So just go through it. Next is about the in history clip, Indian astronaut headed to ISS. So these are the journeys that how they are on Wednesday the mission launch here, multiple delays. Second, the crew member of spent 14 days conducting science research, commercial activities. Fourth is Axiom 4 reaches the complement, include nearly 60 studies and representing 33 countries. Yeah, just tell me, I'm telling just one thing that about the Shubhanshu Shukla, that he belongs to the Uttar Pradesh from Lucknow region and belonging to the CMS City Montessori School. So he is the second Indian to go to space and 634 person to visit there. So question can be asked about it, and their fellow colleagues are from here. So he is the first Indian to reach, group captain becomes the first Indian to reach space in 43 years after the mission lifted off from the it's a Kennedy Space Center in a Florida. Question can be asked, so it is in very much in news. First time the Rakesh Sharma, second it was second visit. Here is saying that it's a human space program Jai Hind Jai Bharat group captain Shukla in first message, and Axiom take had been 28-hour journey to orbiting laboratory. Already we discussed how it, why it is taking 28 hours, and their fellow colleagues is that also keep in mind about their fellow colleagues. Question can be asked because they all are involved in that mission. Peggy Whitson, US commander, and solo was from Poland. Mission specialist, it's India. One from the Peggy Wilson, US. It's a 14 days abroad. ISIS conducting science outrage medical evidence. Next is Israel's ceasefire in effect, says Trump. So the US president rebuked the both-sided and accusation of true violence of the before it was able to affect on Tuesday morning. So Israel to stand down. Already 2296 Indians evacuated to help the close this. We already discussed already here about the 2 billion people don't have a safe drinking. There is a proverb that water everywhere, but not a single drop to drink. So here about the it's a safe driving. It's a drinking water is here about their sources, water source less than limited sources 3.7% here, emergency. Maybe the chart is not visible clearly, so I'm just telling that important things. The drinking water have how many people fail it to a rung of ladder. Chart 1 shows that someone says safe drinking water, that water sources needs to be meet the 3 criteria, like 1, it is free from contamination, and location located at home, availability whenever it is needed, again it is ready for almost 6 billion people. Three criteria, that it should be free from contamination, it should be located at home, availability. Chart around 3/4 billion people have access to piped water sources for well, and that probably safe drink water. Safe drinking water become the main indicator progress on clean water only in 2070. So these were the main aim that we are targeting. So improved water sources. The key point in 95% world uses improved water supply. And map 2 shows that majority in every country, even the poorest countries, have rapidly increased the share of last few decades. Unsafe water led to more than 8 lakh death every year. Because of it can lead to spread of diarrheal diseases such as cholera, dysentery. Other diseases include polio, hepatitis. So these are waterborne diseases. You can say that it's cholera. Here chart mentioned here about it's a dysentery, cholera, it's a polio, hepatitis, malnutrition. These all are 5% of countries more than attributed to unsafe drinking water. Last is that railway considered a marginal increase in fares from July 1. It is the railway fares are going to increase in the cost of 1 rupees, you can say, from the distance. Like if it's less than 500 kilometer, it will not cost in charge, but after the 500 kilometer, it will cost to 1. There is increase in 1 rupees 1.5 according to the distance. It is 1 paise a kilometer, and for AC coaches 2 paise a kilometer. So there is an increase for a and there is a no increase for an ordinary second class ticket up to 500 kilometers. So these are after 5 years that here it is being increased after 5 years, and there is increase in the 1-2 paise as a rationalization was overdue. So there is additional 1500 crore 1600 crore in passenger. Next is that for first time breaking into top 100 in a global SDG gold ranking. So it's India's came at the 67th rank. With a score, what is the score there? 67th rank out of the 167 nation, and the score here in 25 is, questions can be asked, so it is important I'll tell you. So score is India's score is in 2024 its rank is 109th. So if a rank is reducing and score is increasing, then it is a good point. That time score was 74.4. China and their fellow countries, just remember, like China, its score is rank is 49, score is 74, and the United Nations score is rank is 44, score is 75. So among India's neighbor, Bhutan ranks 74th, Nepal 85th, Bangladesh 114th, Pakistan 114, 57 maritime registration, and 3 places have been. So these are the scores here about the it's a toward this is the overall process is like achieving the 17 sustainable development goals that adopting 25. India take 99th rank from 109. So here the sustainable goals what is covered, like first is no poverty, zero hunger, 3 is good health and well-being, 4 quality education. So these are the goals that various aspects cover in these sustainable development goals. So finally the session is going to end. Of 30 June I have covered the all important points editorial. Just go through it. If you like, if you find that you are not covered, you are not revised, you just go through these videos. And then I know the session is very long today. It's almost 1 hour, but I have ended the weekly series of the 30 June. Finally the month end, till the month end I have covered every June series. And now from July, I am not like, I'm not telling the early, I'm not able to decide that I am able to make the July editorial or not, but surely I will try to make it, because current affairs is important for also own sake also, and revising the things, the current affair should be in mind. And from prelims questions can be asked in the also in Bihar state, it's UPPSC. So thank you for today. Let's have a summary and end this session. I don't want this editorial to be long. You just all get bored. I know many of them skipped in the first 10 minutes, because in this generation we have in the reading the scrolls, and concentration is very poor. Even if you are so much not explaining in excited way, for not teaching me, I know. So just starting with the front page of the this editorial, we cover the census state, about a 3-language policy. Second is about the monsoon, about also about the Kudaki lake. Third is about the Rath Yatra. Fourth, we cover about the sterilization emergency and Boeing crashes. Fifth is about the axiom for need 28 hours to reach the ISS. Sorry. Sixth is about the visa rule effects, in privacy and security. Seventh is about the experiment of skeleton mission and landslide hit the it's a hotel site in Uttarakanshi. Eighth is about the people had won against emergency and the protest over gang rape. Ninth is about the views regarding the India's that world is borderless. 10th we cover about the Kolhapuri Inspiration Chapels, turmeric board at headquarters open Nizamabad. 11th we cover about the Mullaperiyar Dam and about the remittance charges. 12th we cover about the voting rights and issue birth certificate. 13th we cover about the deadlines of till the July 8. 14th we cover the trilateral nexus as a India new challenge. 15 is about the Kolhapuri Chappal manufacture and Pahalgam excluded. 17th we cover about the history clip of astronaut and Iran-Israel fire. 18th we cover about the billions of people that have safe drinking water. And last we will cover about the railway incidents that increase in fare as SDG goals. So thank you for today. Hope you like the session. Just give me feedback, suggestions, and if you're new to channel, you can subscribe it. Hope you like the content. And all, if I am not able to upload the long videos, surely I will upload the shorts in the like in the current affairs all. So don't worry about it. And thank you for staying till the last. And also, if not, just go through a revision series. In the starting I have already giving a recap also and summary, so you can just go through the important headlines also. Thank you. And finally I'm going to upload the editorial in just 10 minutes left for the 12 am. So before that I am going to upload. So good night, stay safe, stay healthy. And monsoon is approaching, so they are coming with a lot of diseases and contamination. So stay prevent, don't eat junk, although I'm eating it, but take care of your health also, so that you can study well. So thank you.